And we're live. Hello, boys and girls. Welcome. It's a pre-flash show. It's going to be a short one. We're getting going in about 5 minutes, and here I am with two of my besties in the world, Mr. Caleb Pike, Mr. Ben Barden, and it is Cameron Flask, episode 24, or if you ask this guy, like episode 50 over here. How are you, gentlemen?
So we got good.
Yeah.
I'm excited. We're all here in one room.
First time. It's not the first time this has ever happened, but it's the first time this has ever happened and been broadcast.
Yeah, we've hung out many times, of course. We got really lucky. It's a shit room in the sense of lighting and everything else, but it really is. It's a quiet room.
Yeah.
And we have probably mediocre audio, but hopefully everybody can hear us. You can make comments in the chat. And I mean, we've been coming to NAB for a long time and hanging out together, but this is the first all-together Cameron Flask.
It is
exciting.
It is.
It is
Very exciting.
So, who we've got?
Welcome,
here?
everybody. Harrison. We got Larry. Good old Larry. Good to see you, man.
Yeah. We met Larry yesterday.
Yeah. Ethan, Wannabe Films. How's it going, Wannabe? Grant and Ryan. Ethan.
And of
Deja.
course, part-time films. Everybody
easy.
relax.
Everybody
We can get
relax.
started.
We're okay. It's a good thing that we know that. It did work. We've got some new names up here, it seems like it.
Republic Allegiance. Welcome. Is
Okay.
that new? Are you new, man?
Seems maybe new.
Or is everyone just being like shiz and changing their names?
Shiz nuts.
Sky, welcome.
Yeah.
New
Republic Allegiance, we're doing one.
one?
Well, you read the next one. Debt-free homesteaders. Hey, guys from
Wow.
Utah.
Nice. Okay, great. Alan, what's going on?
Good.
Joseph, Republic. Awesome. Good to have you all here.
Yeah.
Really good to meet so many of you yesterday.
Oh my gosh,
Came and
yeah.
had a-
Yeah.
had
Those
a beer
who
with us at
came out and said
lunchtime.
hi, that was great.
We did a little thing between Central and South Hall. A small group of people came
Yeah,
out and just hung out. We got to chat for about an hour and talk kit, just show.
I got really sunburnt. I got back to the hotel to go out last night, put a white shirt on, had to take it off again.
That's
Just
because you're British.
reflecting my beetrootness.
Yeah.
British. And if we sound like we're a little hoarse and we're a little tired, we are. But we have something to remedy that in a few minutes.
Yeah.
A little
Do we
pick
sound
me up.
okay, guys? Let us know.
Yeah, let us know about the sound. There's not a whole lot we can do here, but we did have two microphones, and it seemed to be
Probably too much for
Yeah.
delays and things. Niun.
Niun.
Awesome. Thanks for the heads up there, dude. I'm terrible with pronunciation.
I am too, though. Horrible.
So the worst is when you get like a super chat or something and it's this crazy name and you're like, oh, yeah, I'm going to just, here we go.
Especially when you have to thank them with the donations and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sound is really good.
Okay.
All right. We're all right. Good. Hey, Sky.
We're
How
doing
you
a Rode,
doing?
For all the nerds, Rode Video Micro into a Mix
Deja.
3, which is a little ridiculous.
That's cool. Yeah, it is. It's like a $69 mic, $79 mic into a mix free.
$60 mic.
Well, it's better than the new sound devices, the Scorpio, which is $9,000.
That would have been perfect.
That would have been the best.
32 channels.
But we don't even have the mix free in the shot though, and then
$10,000.
have it featured, and then just put
Yep.
this in there.
Yep.
That would have been awesome.
That would've been great.
Sound is not too bad. Sky London, thank you for being completely honest. But you can hear everyone. It's, I mean, it's a lot of
commentary,
reverb in
it's-
here. Yeah.
No idea.
And the lighting is fantastic.
And this all feels a bit weird this time, all being together.
It does.
Yeah.
Talking through there.
It does.
And wearing trousers.
Yeah.
It's kind of.
Too much information. Hello from Greece. Yeah. All right. Good. All right.
Excellent.
So we are about 1 minute away from
Good, I'm
episode
thirsty.
24. Me too. I know Caleb's like,
Oh
fine.
boy, here we go.
Oh, no. I'm not even reading it. Okay.
We'll talk about it.
All right. We'll talk about it. Everything's fair game over here. What else we got? Good. All right. Here we are. So, everybody, we're official. It's 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. What time is it back home?
11 p.m. in the UK and midnight at home in the Czech Republic.
All right, good. And then hi from Portugal, Ricardo. All right, let's get going. Welcome, gentlemen, and welcome everybody to the official start of episode 24. This is NAB 2019, and we are in one of the meeting rooms We're not supposed to be here, by the way, but we are, and I don't think anybody knows. And we're gonna have a drink.
We are. Should we get on with that right now?
You're gonna do it.
Okay. So.
And can you tell the story and
I
everything?
will tell the story.
All
So
right, good.
on the first day,
He doesn't know anything. By the
I
way,
don't know anything about what's about to happen.
so Jem and I met up on Thursday last week when we arrived,
Yeah.
and we had a little expedition out to try and get a drink for the show.
On the strip originally.
Yeah, so we were in CVS and in Walgreens, and there was nothing doing there. And one of their members of staff said that we should jump in an Uber, head down the strip to this amazing
Total Wine
Total Wine.
and more, and
Yeah.
a lot more. It's Home Depot for alcohol.
It's incredible.
I'm not,
Have you ever been to a Binny's?
yeah, maybe once.
Okay.
This is like a football field.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
insane.
No, it's
honestly.
it's
It's like heaven. It's just like walking into paradise. It's
Oh my
amazing.
goodness.
it's really
So
amazing.
jealous.
Yeah. So we took advice. We looked around. They had bottles of scotch in there for, I think there was one that was worth more than my house.
There was one cabinet in there.
Over
when you
100,000.
added up the whole cabinet, it was almost $300,000, and there was like 12 bottles in there.
Oh my gosh.
And one of those was half the value of
That's
the whole
what you
thing.
bought, I hope.
And that's exactly
Okay.
what we
Yeah,
got.
come on, I'm
They were
flush.
talents. All right, so we looked around. We spent 2 hours in there. We sampled an awful lot.
Yeah, it's next door to Fry's, by the way. Part-time Films, this new place. So, but a different Fry's maybe. It's a whole new shop. Oh, here we go.
We're going to bring this in.
Paul John.
Do you know about this?
No.
So this is an Indian single malt whiskey. Now, interestingly, the thing that I like when you look at a bottle of scotch and the description on the address, even just the address, gives you a nice kind of feel of the place. Like Bowmore, it's on the island, it's by the sea. And the thing that I love about this, if we look at the address, it says M21 Kunkolim Industrial Estate.
It's basically like an industrial park.
Yeah.
What?
No, it's not what it is. No, but look, it's Indian. I've had actually whiskey from this distiller, and it's actually regarded very highly. This is not an inexpensive bottle of whiskey, by the way.
Yeah.
It's not an incredibly expensive one, but we didn't skimp out. Okay.
Wow.
And we bought 2 bottles, actually. We bought a bottle of scotch, too, a Tomatin double cask,
Yes.
double wood, basically. And we gave that to Ryan from Lens Rentals when he came in.
Nice.
And he was very happy.
Good,
So he
good,
told
good,
us that
good.
was good. So, well, you do the honors, sir.
Okay.
Because, yeah,
So I've no idea.
I'm
whether
going to
this
read a
needs
little
water.
bit. It's grassy barley shows first, then the most gentle peat notes. They dissolve into the palate and begin to intensify, slow down to a chocolate mint and mocha rush, and the sublime molasses that end with sweet notes. Dreams are made up of this exquisite whiskey. Okay.
Sorry, this is a week.
It's way too
I'm
much.
so excited. This would be a very new thing for me.
I know.
I think, and for
Single
me,
malt Indian.
but I have to say that
Indian single malt.
the whiskey that we had the other night, the Japanese,
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
that was
yeah, it
maybe
was
the
really,
best
really
whiskey
good.
I've
Yeah.
ever tried in my life. It was incredible.
that was good.
Very good.
We drank the whole bottle.
Beautiful bottle.
Yeah.
That.
Look at that.
Very
Yeah.
nice. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
There we go.
anybody say anything over here?
How
What
are we
got?
doing out there, guys? What are we having this
Yeah,
evening?
what's the drinks over there?
We got some water, some lemonade.
High
some-
C Films. We're so pumped for this too. I mean, both to talk about NAB and also to drink this whiskey. And what else we got? Hey, Bart, Slavic and I want to stop by. And we're not telling you where this room is. Let me just tell you, if Slavic shows up, then let's pour a little for.
Yeah. We
Yeah,
got a
let's
glass.
go over here. You got an empty one over
Here you
here.
go.
There you go. Boom. All right. So listen, Slavic is not allowed in this room, by the way, because if Slavic gets in this room, then there'll be no more whiskey. What's up?
I'm looking for someone who said they finally made it for one of the first times.
Oh, please. And where's Grumpy Penguin?
Yeah, where's Grumpy?
Grumpy. Okay, let's hand this out.
All right. So let's
Here we
see
go.
whether this requires water or not.
Okay,
All right, here we go.
there we go.
Back to her. Oh, Shiznuts is in.
Oh, all right, just in time. Pour it in. Here we go.
Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Thank you
Cheers,
for joining
everybody.
us.
Cheers. I need a little water. But that's all
Very
right.
nice. Very nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll take a little water.
Do you want a little drop?
I'm quite happy with that, though.
Well,
Yeah.
if we go-
No,
if
no.
we
I'm
go-
saying
let's go
I'll
at the
do
bottom,
it.
that's gonna, yeah.
Just a little. Thank you.
Splash.
Oh, you might have to add some more whiskey. That was a lot more than the splash. This is
That
not
was a-
Booker's. Jesus. Come on, let's go. All right, here we go. No, not rough. It's quite good. It just needs a little.
The peat is barely a factor, I
Mhm.
feel. So I wouldn't describe it as smoky or peaty at all. Just
No,
a
and
touch
we
of
were
it.
afraid. Well, actually, the one that we wanted to get was like almost 100.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This was the cheaper of the two options, which is
it's about a $60 bottle. It's quite nice though.
Very
It
nice.
is.
I can drink this.
Oh yeah.
Oh, now I can
You
start
kidding
talking
me?
about NAB. Let's do it.
All right, let's
Now
do
I
it.
feel like I just got like rocket ships. Let's go. All right, let's go, Rocky. So here we are, boys. NAB 2019. Oh, what do you think of the new Aputure product announcements? Well, there are the ones, Larry, that were there on Monday and Tuesday.
Right.
And then the three of us gentlemen went to a small event last night where we found out about some new products
Mhm.
that are on the floor now. Some people might be tweeting about them and doing some social. I think I'm more excited about them, except for one of their products, which I'm still probably the most excited about. So where do we start?
Oh man. How about kind of theme-ish of the year? What
Yeah.
do overall?
Yeah,
maybe
no, I
this
like
year,
that. Yeah, yeah.
2019. What's
I'll tell you what,
the
it's
deal?
not. It's not been a year of big releases.
Right.
No.
No, I don't think there's any camera, or not in kind of our world. There's been
Right.
kind of broadcast and ENG kind of cameras.
Some
but the
Z-cam stuff.
Z cam. So
Yep.
that's kind of in that.
A lot of chatter about that camera.
Yep.
Probably more so than any other camera, except for, Alexa Mini, LF.
Right.
But that's a whole different product category and was pre-announced.
Yeah. That's like talking about a Tesla versus a McLaren.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
just like
Yeah.
another thing.
Totally different. So themes for me, well, the obvious one is that they're starting now the big push for 8K,
Right.
which is and NAB is notorious for this.
Yeah.
And they'll do this for the next 3 or 4 years. That's
So
what'll
the
happen.
actual 8K year.
That's right. Yeah. So it was like the year of HD for 3 to 4 years, and then it was the year of 4K for 3 to 4 years, and then eventually it all sort of caught up to the most
Right.
part. But still, monitors are the weakest link. And then I think what's really going to happen is we're going to finally get our 4K, monitors coming up in the
Do
near
you think
future.
we'll just always be like one step behind on resolutions? Like
Yeah.
4K monitors will be everywhere when we're doing 8K,
Yeah.
etc.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other big takeaway for me, which was sort of less of something I think that was obvious, was AI in post. It's starting to see.
yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
it's not something that is big splash, but more than one company is coming out with solutions where, as we ingest our footage, there's artificial intelligence that's going to start to categorize and do things for us that is going to streamline our workflows. In
Yeah.
theory,
Yeah.
and one of the ones is Resolve 16.
Yeah. So the
And we
results,
saw a demo.
it was great.
Yeah.
And I've been using that software for a couple of years now, using it more and more in place of Premiere. And it's looking really good. This new version has a new window, which is for assembly editing.
It's called Cut Page, right?
Cut page.
Looks good.
Really clever use of sort of technology, and that's using the AI as part of that as well. Being able to do quick transitions, being able to do multicam really quickly.
Yeah.
That's
Sorry, somebody's asking about what we're
okay.
drinking. So as you
put
speak,
that up front, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was really interesting from them, and we were all at their press launch on Monday morning.
Yep.
There's masses of new stuff in that again, and it's just that continual evolution. One of the big things for me was eventually being able to have adjustment layers. They call it something else, but it's essentially the same thing, which has been missing.
Yeah.
So that was good. The other interesting thing from their presentation was the keyboard.
the editor's keyboard
Yeah.
that's coming out later this year, and they were big on 8K. I mean, 8K was a big thing.
Yeah.
for
So all
them.
their switches, all their
Yeah.
broadcast
Yeah.
products, they were 8K ready now. So that was kind of interesting. The other thing was the grip for the pocket camera.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So this is an interesting one. So everyone knows.
Shiz Nuts was asking about that earlier.
Okay, so the big problem.
It is
we
like a
talked
shiz nut, but let's hear about it.
about- So how much do you normally get out of you use that camera? How long before that rinses the battery? And
I haven't really checked it after the update, but depending on if you're going Canon or third party or whatever, we're looking at don't know, maybe at best 45 minutes.
I thought you were
at
going to
best.
say 8 minutes.
That's what I thought was coming as well.
I mean, that's best case scenario.
Right.
Brand new Canon branded LPE6, and
Yeah.
you're shooting not intense settings.
So they were saying that they're looking to just over double that now. But interestingly, that being the LPE6 in the body, they've made a battery grip so that you can put 2 batteries in, and they've put Sony batteries
In the grip.
MPS, but the smallest of the
MPS,
MPS,
yeah.
it'll fit in
L
the grip.
series.
Yeah. I don't.
It's genius.
It's it's
genius.
bizarre.
Yeah.
To me, it would have if you could have fit 3 of the LPE6s in the grip.
Yeah.
I kind of get why they've done
Right.
it, because they can get more capacity out of those 2. It does make sense to a degree. It just seems like a crazy thing if you've already bought that camera and you've invested in those batteries, and then they're not expensive, but it's just
Yeah, it was a weird choice.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
They talk about it, how like it could get you more bang for your buck, power wise. But I guess maybe they expect us to rig this up and leave it there. So now like it's straight up as a Sony battery camera now.
I think so. And I think the thing they were saying was that so many people have been using it with the small external hard drives,
Right.
the little Samsung drives
Right.
that everyone's got rigs for,
Yeah.
bolts on at the top.
Yeah.
That's rinsing the battery when
Right.
you're using it with
Yeah.
that. So it kind of makes sense, but
Yeah.
But as a company, I think what Blackmagic is doing, and very intelligently,
Mhm.
is they're setting themselves up as having the foundation for an 8K infrastructure.
Yeah.
Whether or not we
Yeah.
deal with 8K for in any way within any time soon really doesn't matter.
No.
They're saying, okay, we're ready. And they were just putting out all the boxes, all the connections, everything you need.
Right.
So anybody who does need it,
yeah.
they're going to be the company people are going to think about, especially because of how loud they are about what they're doing.
And that's been the
So-
headline. So where they had all the banners last year for the Pocket,
Yeah.
all of those this year have been just with 8K.
Yeah.
That's been the headline from.
Yep.
But they're on their way.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
keep doing it. Good.
Hi, wife Cassie Pike in the
Hey.
comments.
Oh, hello.
Hey, Alex is here. Yes,
only
we did
2
go to the
hours now?
Aputure.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. Sorry.
No, we went to the party. Yes, we did.
Yep.
Yeah, we saw all the good stuff. What else?
Let's see. Rest in peace, Blackmagic cages with new grip. Yep. Although I think a lot of people have already got their own setups.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they've been
Like if you've been
external
using
battery
V
solutions and-
mount, then this doesn't really change anything.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks, it's bulky, obviously, but it's
Right.
a good.
And that camera needs
Shaped.
weight.
Yeah.
Everyone I've shown to it in person, they can't believe how lightweight
It's
it is.
deceptively
So
light.
lightweight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So lightweight.
Yeah.
It's like lighter than a GH5.
Totally.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It looks
it's
good.
ridiculous.
It looks
And when it's
pretty
that
integrated.
big, it's even
weird.
lighter.
Yeah.
Looks like an EOS1.
Do we see the Sharp camera? I didn't even go over there.
No,
I didn't.
no.
Like everyone, it's kind of still the hype up. It's
Yeah.
a camera and it shoots 8K. But from the guys that have shot it, you can go out right now. There's a couple of videos out already
Yeah.
of them testing it. But
Oh, new shooter
New
it's,
did
Shooter.
it.
it's,
Yeah, Matt
it's like
took
a
it out.
concept car. It's
Yeah.
like, well, that's cool.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have AC and you have to charge it after.
5 minutes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
for me, it's not. If they can get it out with some log and all that kind of stuff, but it seems like they're marketing to a very strange.
It's a
It's
gimmick.
just strange.
And they
Yeah.
were
Purely a
asking
headline
people how much
grabber.
it should be, and they're clearly marketing it as a consumer camera.
Yeah.
And like, so if it's a consumer camera, you can't sell it for more than $19.99.
I think Dave from Kinotika said one of the reasons they made it is they have 8K TVs and they wanted some 8K camera.
Right.
Right.
But it's really odd.
It's
Yeah.
micro
But they're
Four
getting some
Thirds,
buzz.
right?
They're getting some buzz.
It's
Yeah,
micro
micro
Four
Four
Thirds.
Thirds.
Yeah. Good.
Shogun 7. Okay, so let's kind of back
Okay.
to wrap up the whole theme thing.
Yeah.
Of NAB. Kind of a slow year, similar to last year, but we didn't have any camera releases really, except
Yeah.
for a couple little things here and there. Anything else? Like lighting, audio? Do we see any like
RGB.
shifts?
RGB.
I feel
for
like lighting had a big push
Yeah.
this year.
I feel
Some
like
strong
I
stuff.
feel like lighting was just everywhere.
And like maybe some new form factors, some new tech there.
Yeah.
So maybe, all right, LED's here to stay, RGB's here to stay, but something kind of fresh. A couple companies, Aputure included,
Well,
something
let's-
a little different.
yeah.
Let's talk about Central Hall
Okay.
from a lighting standpoint.
Yeah. It was everywhere.
Did you see anything but an LED
Yeah.
fixture? There's nothing but LED.
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically
Cineo, is there any remote phosphor left?
they still have a couple in their line, but I think all of the big players, and that includes BB&S, that
Yeah.
includes Cineo lighting. Clearly years ago with Airy with the Sky panel.
Yeah.
nobody is pushing remote phosphor.
Right.
It's still great for studio installations because it has long life, but LED technology just keeps advancing. So yeah, I mean, just unbelievable numbers. And how many tube companies now?
Oh,
Yeah.
they're everywhere.
It's just, I mean, tubes are just
A
everywhere.
lot more small lights. It's like we've reached
Yes.
like, okay, we know how to do big, giant LED
Yeah.
lights, and now we're getting all these little
Yeah.
cute.
Filmmaker J, any
Adorable lights.
C200 updates? No.
Or the ESR. So
good luck with that,
both
yeah.
of those two rumors.
High C films. Let's come back to the audio because I think there's some really interesting stuff there for sure. So lighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Mole Richardson 20K.
So, yeah, Mo.
That
but
happened.
and that actually, yeah, that
You
did
need
happen.
a 1-ton truck just to move
To
that
power it,
light,
yeah.
just for that light.
But I mean, that just shows you how far LED's coming.
Yeah.
So we'll talk more about lighting in a little while. Yeah, I mean, Mole's been LED for a while now. They're space lights and other fixtures. It's just they keep going bigger and bigger. They want that part of the market. They want to take the Fresnel, market, and they want the big guns. So they want to be on, on big sets. They're clearly not marketing to us.
No.
Which is fine.
Seriously, Alex?
What's this?
What do you say?
Canon released the SL3 and it shoots 4K.
What's that?
Canon SL3s, that's like their budget camera.
Oh.
I'll look it up. Is it the same? It's pretty much, let me guess, it's like an M50
Probably.
level
I don't
4K.
know. I'm not familiar with that at all.
Okay. Still don't really understand the Atomos products, and I have Ninja Flame. The one thing I do know is there's certain things on my C200 displays because the Flame doesn't have SDI. Yeah, I mean, Atomos, you have to really, I mean, I think that, they're really, at this point, I see, 649.
Okay.
All right, so the SL3 is 649 with instant savings. UHD 4K at 24p and 4K time-lapse movie. That sounds like a bunch of
be a
poppycock.
It's an M50. It sounds.
That's
like.
an M50
When
in
it
a
comes to
more
video.
DSLR-ish body.
Right. It is a DSLR, I believe.
I know.
Right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
That's just
Silly.
ridiculous.
When it comes to white.
Can you close that right now?
Yeah, sorry.
This is like a stormtrooper model. So, yeah, I don't know.
Okay. So, do you want to go kind of category to category, or do you want to go through what you?
You're in charge of that.
Actually, you're okay.
No, I can be in charge, but you can be in charge.
I just realized that I'm all confused over here.
No.
All right. Let's go.
If I drink a lot of this, I'm going to be very confused. Okay.
Why don't you start with stuff that you saw and liked?
Me?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe not surprisingly, and I'll sound a little fanboyish here, but I think that, I think there's two things that are really happening right now. We're seeing finally our options in the audio world expanding amazingly. And I like the Wireless Go. I think that's an interesting product. I'm excited. I spoke with Rode. I spoke to Ryan, and there's going to be some nice stuff that's going to happen there. I mean, the idea of putting a Smart Lav Plus in there and having that be a native connector might happen, just saying. And just being able to have that built-in mic. But for me, putting a Smart Lav Plus and being able to just have this really small form factor for mirrorless is going to be nice. Deity, forget about it. Killing it.
Yeah.
Amazing. Went over and hung out with Andrew, the three of us.
Yeah.
And the new Lavs. Crazy 3 and 4 millimeter, right? And
Or 3 and 5?
No, 3 and 4.
Okay.
And so really small, almost as small as the B6 from Countryman on the small one, teeny tiny. Some of the capsules he showed us,
they're amazing.
amazing, and
Lots
this sort of
pencil condenser style, interchangeable.
Just a Swiss Army knife. Buy one microphone and just keep putting caps on the end of it to make it do what you need.
And then
Go ahead.
No, you go.
I was just gonna say the thing that they're talking about is like not only is it a really short microphone that you can change from Omni to hyper to straight up cardioid.
Yes.
But then you can take that off and slap on like another microphone.
Yes.
And turn it into like
a full on
S mic too.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's ridiculous.
Saramonic is definitely still a thing, and they're definitely bigger presence.
Huge presence.
Huge presence.
Yeah.
They're
huge
legit.
booth with
Yeah.
the stage and everything.
just ate there.
And when we talk about killing it with Deity, well, we know what Deity used to be. It used to be a sub-brand of Aputure, back to back at the show.
Yeah.
But they are clearly distinct brands from each other now. They're one family with distinct brands, which I'm super happy that they broke that apart from each other. And the other company that's really killing it, I mean, and just keeps killing it year after year is Aputure. I mean, crazy.
Insane.
Crazy.
The most exciting product of the week was the stuff that we saw
at the party last night, which is not secret stuff. I mean, it was on at the booth today.
Yeah.
So I'll talk about a couple of things having to do with Aputure, and they won't be the things that you'll want to talk about.
Okay.
So last year we had this Spot, which is essentially their Source 4 Leica attachment.
Yeah.
That is Bowen's mount that goes right onto a 120D2, a 120D, 300D, and of course the new 300D2 that was announced. And there was a little bit of a question inside of Aputure as to whether or not the lensing of that was going to be a zoom or is going to be primes. And if you really want to cut with the leaves of a Source 4 Leica, and you really want to get that absolutely sharp edge, you need to use prime lenses. And they decided on both prime lenses and the zoom lens.
Sick.
It's sick. And this product, I don't know how much it's going to be in terms of the, the package, but I do know that the starting price is $500 for this thing. It's ridiculous. Go
I
both.
could have understood that as the package.
Oh my God. So we were at the thing last night, and they were projecting Venetian blinds, and it was with a 19-degree lens. And I went in and I cut it to the edges, which were perfectly crisp, of the Venetian blinds, and it was a perfect line. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, I'm just telling you that lantern is amazing, but the Spot is like, that's the product. Because the problem for me is that lensing with LEDs has always been the problem, and we haven't been able to get hard. I mean, there are some LED Source 4 things, but at this price point, and to couple that with a 300D2, I'm out. It's like a mic drop.
So good.
Ridiculous. So I have other things to talk about, but somebody else. Look, yes, Wannabe Films, the lensing is insane on that Leica. And if that production unit is exactly what I saw last night, which wasn't the production unit, then I'm happy. Done. Keep talking.
Ben, what you got?
I'm going to drink.
I don't know. Well, I'll take one of the smaller things, but there was a bit of a surprise, was the light bulbs. So they're this is such a useful bit of kit. So these are light bulbs, like normal screw-in light bulbs that you would have in your house. So you put those in as practicals, and they're completely color tunable. So they're RGB. You can unscrew them, and they have a battery in them, so they'll run when they're not actually screwed into the socket, but they'll recharge when they're screwed into the mains. The really clever thing with this, which we'll talk about more with the other product, thank you, is their app that they now have, and this wireless control system. So you can take your phone and using the camera on your phone and the app, and you can go up and find another light source, and you can take a picture of it. It'll read that light source, and then those bulbs will then perfectly match that. So if you're putting in practicals into a set and you need to match, say there's an overhead light that you just can't get at, or you're happy with that, you can just match everything else to it. Or you can match it to anything else. Last night, they did a demonstration with this, with taking a picture of your eyes and then getting the thing I'm not sure how accurate that was. I'm sure it got more kind of.
Well, Ted originally thought that I had blue eyes. But I have hazel, so that's a little confusing. No, but he really did, and with Kitty and her.
And that was Kitty from Atola Visual. She's YouTube channel, purple hair. He got the purple hair.
It was amazing.
It made a bulb.
And so the thing that I was really worried about with that practical was, he said you just put it in the light socket, and my first thought was, well, what happens if you turn on the power? But that's how you charge it. I mean, it's just brilliant.
Simple, smart.
And the light bulb's going to be how much?
$59. Is that right?
I thought it was like 70 something, but I could be wrong.
Well, 79 for the wireless charging.
I'm pretty sure it's 59 because I instantly thought about it and I was.
No, it is 59.
It is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Really?
It's 59 for each of those bulbs.
Because I was thinking that I will get those for my kids for Christmas presents, and that they'll absolutely love that. So the fact that they can have them in the socket, but they can take them out and go and play in the woods with them.
And I think we're getting pretty close on the RGB panel.
Right.
That thing looks incredible.
And then he turned it on. It was color while we were at the dinner. And then remember they switched to white for a second.
So
it was so bright. And they're targeting like $1,600 US for that thing.
And you talked to us about the equivalence, brightness, and everything he was talking about spec wise compared to the Airy light, because you have a lot of experience with the
I mean, I really don't know what the real metrics are going to be because I've never tried this, but I think he said that it's as bright as an S60.
Yeah.
Which is the double, right?
Yeah, that's the double.
That's just insane.
Yeah, you won't have the same amount you won't have as much surface area.
Right.
I really don't know, but I think that they're just building.
And that light is a whole other level.
Yeah.
Did you sit behind it and just look at the back of it?
No.
When you get there, just examine the back. It's like it's a whole other level for them.
I just realized I'm supposed to go in the Aputure thing and speak intelligently at 5 o'clock.
Oh, no.
I'm going to slow down. Just, okay. I'm okay. It's okay.
It's all right. You're more entertaining when you're drunk. They'll get better value out of it.
Yeah. I don't know about that. So wait, Tony, what is Tony? My mind is still blown by communications these days. It's crazy that you're a part of the world. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. The whole thing is crazy. We're living in the future. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
And speaking of the future, this app that Aputure has, I mean, it is a whole team. I mean, it does take a village, but we have to give Ted some credit here. He's got such Energizer Bunny. He has vision.
Yep.
He's the one who absorbs all of this feedback from the community. I mean, they're one of the few. I mean, look, sky panels are amazing.
Yeah.
You know, they do things that no other lights can do right now. And if you're shooting at a certain level on certain types of things, they're amazing. But what Aputure is doing is they are really enabling the entire community of creatives to do things. And you can start off as somebody who just wants to be a small independent filmmaker, and they've got $59 and $79 and $99 solutions. I mean, look at the F7; it's $99, and you can start to do things, and then you just start to build up, save up for that 120D2. This 300D. They're making everything backwards compatible, which I think is huge. They're really it's
essentially for $100 you can get a brick with 2 antennas on it.
Yep.
And it'll take all your old lights and bring them into this new ecosystem, which is like a mesh network over Bluetooth.
Yep.
So if you have all their new lights, they all talk to each other with the app, and
that's insane. So clever because it's daisy chaining as you're going on.
Yeah.
So one light, so your device talks to the first light, and then that talks to the second light. So it's not like they're all directly having to come into Wi-Fi network.
Right.
So you can just daisy chain these things for mile after mile after mile.
It's similar to a Wi-Fi. We good here? We just is the camera dead there?
Hold on, guys. We're talking to you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Why is it dead? Is it just went to sleep?
I forgot to change the battery before we started.
Yeah. Okay, so we're talking to you, everybody.
In that bag.
And inside of the bag, we're getting some battery.
I got it in my pocket. I got some right here.
You know, who wouldn't have a battery in their pocket? Caleb would. Is that a battery in your pocket? Or are you just happy to see me?
Oh my gosh.
Well, I'm just trying to talk here. And suddenly it's a podcast. Sound is good. Keep going. We will, Joseph.
So where were we?
Well, Jem is not drinking as much now. He's drinking slowly because he's realizing, hey, now we are back.
We should also mention the other Aputure product with the tiny little, what was the original product, the daylight one that they had, the tiny little self-contained battery Aputure light.
Oh, you mean the MC something?
Yeah.
ALMC?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the new version with the tiny little one, which is full RGB, super bright.
Yeah.
And they're going to be selling those in cases in packs of them, which with a charger.
They're not sure how many they're going to have in each one, but it's like a Peli case.
Yeah. And
you open it up. And then you drop them in, and they just wirelessly charge.
Yeah,
those things were $79 each.
$79 each.
Amazing.
It's like a super powered M9.
Yeah,
and going around the show floor, I won't mention who, but there were other booths that were just starting to get into smaller fixtures. And it's crazy.
Yes.
Why? It's just it's a game over.
Yeah, it's
that thing linking it because
I mean, what? Seriously though, $80. And you have a gorgeous, amazing full spectrum RGB light. And get this, getting nerdy here for a second. You know, when you use an RGB light and it's set to blue, and you look at your monitor and it's like purple and blue and just destroyed on your image. Well, with the new Aputure stuff, you can target your color space.
Yeah,
Yes.
which they have in sky panels, but I
Right.
haven't seen in
That's
a
insane.
low end solution. Yeah,
So you
can
want to
say-
go,
yeah.
you want to go crazy red, and then you just set it to Rec 709, and you know when you put that on YouTube, it's gonna be okay.
It's humongous.
That's
and that-
insane.
Especially because we
$80
don't.
bucks. $80.
No,
Built-in battery.
$79.
$79.
You get $1 and you can go, what can you do with $1 now? You buy a bottle of water.
Not here.
Not here. You can't. No.
But then that is the thing, is that all these other companies, and when we've been wondering the halls, there's so many of these very similar products,
Yeah.
Right.
and of these with the sky panel type product that they're developing, that Aputure are developing, and there's so many other of those around now, which are all looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Mm.
But they're not going to have that whole architecture behind them with this app and this connectivity. The Aputures, it's just this whole ecosystem of lighting,
Yeah.
which is just
Yeah.
it was a very exciting.
Yeah. They
setup.
started it
Sounds
with the
good.
remote, and
Yeah.
now they've just sort of, they put it on steroids.
It's like it hurts. It's so good.
And it hurts and like everybody else should be feeling, unless you're in,
Like,
Unless-
why even try?
unless you're airy and you're in
Yeah.
that space,
Yeah.
because that's their space and it's a great space to be in.
Yeah.
Unless you're in that space, and a few fixtures here and there, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
6 years, 7 years. I mean, how does a company become that company?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Golly.
yeah. So that's
So that's
for me. That's
that.
kind of been one of the highlights.
Yeah.
of the
And
things.
and then the lantern.
Yeah.
Their
Yeah.
lantern with skirts.
It's amazing.
It's going to be dirt cheap, Bones mount. I mean, it's like, why wouldn't you have that?
Yeah.
You have some great ideas for that in terms
Well,
of
that's one of my favorite things. The little lights are just ridiculous, because I keep thinking of, like, there's upcoming lights that I'm interested in, but there's no way. Well, pending reviewing them all and brightness and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You just, for a lot of these small lights, you can get 2 of these new ones, and like go. It's stupid.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
So the lantern is really exciting to me because it gives you so much flexibility.
Yeah.
It can be just a really nice lantern, soft light, kind of omni. You can use it like a soft box. You can skirt it. You can stick it in a corner and control fall off.
Oh,
And
it's great.
easy to use, super fast.
And it can be, and then, you'll see it always facing down when you're at a booth,
Right.
but you can
Do whatever you want with
do it. You can have it facing
Yeah.
up, and you can just create ambience. You can
Yep.
lift the ambience of a room, but in a really soft way.
And the skirting system on that. I mean, really, I don't know what they put in it, but you can put like 2 rolls on it, so it's not all the way down.
Yeah,
and
it's
it
just a
stays where it is,
Velcro.
it
It's
doesn't
really-
flop down.
It's smart.
It's a really, really good product.
Yeah.
Bastards, so smart.
It's
All right, so we're all agreed that that's a
Aputure
pretty
is just-
special. Just
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
to me, that's
dominating.
kind of the
I
highlight
would
of the show,
I would say from a family of products, what's coming out of that company as a whole.
Yep.
I mean, including a dual channel wireless 2.4 gigahertz system from
Yeah.
Deity.
Yeah.
They're going for it.
Yep.
Mhm.
I mean, and they're not slowing down. And what I do like is a lot of companies will take their products and they will diversify them so much that it's hard for us to figure out what they are.
Yeah.
But it still seems like Aputure is, yes, there's more products, but they're not making 3 or 4 of the same thing.
Right.
They're creating very distinct things that can be used in different
Yeah.
ways.
Yeah.
So I hope they continue that. And Deity doesn't seem to be, it's pretty easy
Yeah.
to track what they're doing.
And a lot of people, and I think they'll continue to let things slowly just disappear. Like Aputure, there's
Yeah.
certain lights that not that long ago were available that
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
aren't available.
It's okay.
It's
I
good.
think it's okay.
No, it's great. They're
Yeah.
not going to try to keep making 79 different light models,
Yeah.
which is good.
It's good.
What else? Any other lights before we move on to non-light stuff?
Let me see if I have anything on my
You
list
showed me
that-
something just like almost the second I saw you.
Oh, it's in the bag. Let's get it. It's kind of fun.
You want to grab the
my little
pen?
backpacky thing. Just the little thingamajiggery raw. Yeah, I'll take that out of there. Yes. Look, my T-47 bag.
you got it all going on. You got the bag, you got the hoodie, you got the hat.
I'm excited. It's only like 3 of them in the world.
Other lighting stuff. While he's
The
pulling that
frames
out.
you and I looked at were
Flags?
the flags,
right.
the flags were good.
Yeah,
Found a set of
$100 flags.
It's a full set of 5 flags with frames.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
that
good.
was a crazy bargain.
Here we go.
Spiffy gear. 2 versions. We're going to show you the bicolor here. Gets pretty bright. I did an episode today about it. It's daylight to tungsten, and slap and magnet, and they're going to put a little 1/4-20 thing. This is made for cine, so this is designed. Oh yeah, this is it. Well, you got a better 3D printed version than I did. You got the one that okay. So that's a 1/4-20. Is that fit in a cold shoe?
Yep.
So that's cold shoe. That's 1/4-20, and this whole thing. Oh, and then a little hook place.
And it's magnetic.
Yeah, magnetic. And so this thing here, you can use this for, you wrap it around the inside of a practical light. You could use it around the C-stand for set safety. But for me, I think the big thing is going to be, and they have an RGB version of this, is accent lighting. And the best thing about it is he said, how much, it's conversations I have with companies all the time, how much should this be?
Right.
And they said, well, if you target $79 to $99 for this, and it's really going to be flicker free and all that stuff, $49.50.
You're in.
But of all those uses, I mean, you've had that thing around quite a bit. Its main use for you has just been being a sparkly little disco bunny all around.
It gets
You
get lots of attention. What's that?
The inventor also mentioned that several people want to use it on a matte box, because you just slap it on a matte box. You've got a nice little kind of like, Pike setup.
Yes,
brilliant.
I like it.
Right?
I think
eyebrow.
I mean,
for on the eyebrow.
Yeah.
For $50 US.
Slam dunk.
Come on, Udi, get to market fast.
Yeah,
it's called the Lumi.
So
there
you
go.
So good.
All right, I think that ends our lighting.
Yeah. I would say.
There's a couple Sky panel knockoffs out there.
Yeah, the Falconize one.
Yep.
I had a demonstration of that this morning. Huge power.
Right. Massive
functionality.
Yeah.
Well built.
Right. I'm trying to think if there's other lighting. There's the other things like Quasar had some stuff.
Yes.
Although, and then Aputure stomped all over their, because Quasar has these bulbs, their own bulbs.
Yeah.
They're nice. I think they're going to do some stuff in the future. Athena was a really interesting tube base as well. While you're speaking of Quasar,
right.
All of them have built-in batteries. They're not cheap, but they're really well made. Yeah. And then DOP choice for modifiers. They're just making modifiers for everybody's lights. So they have now these little grids that slip onto tube lights, because tube lights are soft to begin with. Yeah. So they do some cool stuff like that.
How much are those though?
I don't know.
Because I saw when I first discovered DOP choice, I'm like, this is great.
Yeah.
Look at this 4x4 grid setup.
Yeah.
I'll have to give up a kidney to own that.
Yeah.
And we saw the other day IntelliTech.
That was great. They're
last year they were big too. They're doing a lot of
modifier.
Lights. Yeah.
Well, they're lights, but also their modifier.
Oh, I haven't seen.
They have a 5x6.
Yeah. It would fit 4x6 fabrics within it, so it was just a little bit over.
But it's big.
It's nice. Got a grid on one side,
but it's just pop up. You just pull it out.
It's a butterfly style pop up.
Yeah.
But they only have the one diffusion,
but it then comes with a grid on the other side. So it's a bit of a weird.
Yeah.
I think the potential for that would be great. Also, if you put that with carbon fiber,
right?
Because it's light-ish, but it's so close to being really travel friendly. And it just needs a few more pounds shaving off it, but it's good.
And it's they have a smaller one, a 4x4.
Yeah.
And they're cheap.
Yeah.
Like the big one with the grid, which it's like $350.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a big shift in the industry, is modifiers becoming more affordable.
Yeah. Aputure and IntelliTech.
Yeah.
Who knows what Aputure we'll get into next.
Shamir is making a modifier for Aputure.
Yeah.
That shows you how legit they are right now. Now, more than one person has mentioned the Moza slide pod.
That's one of my picks.
And it's definitely one of my picks. So let's talk about that. Why don't you talk a little bit, Ben? What is this thing?
So this is a monopod, which you mentioned it's 2 stages. So a tube and tube, and it's motorized. So the inner tube actually comes out, and it will lift a camera weighing up to 20 kilos in a vertical plane. But this is the clever bit, is it then has a mount on the side of it, so you can turn it sideways You have a ball head on the end that you then put into the horizontal position. And then you have a motorized slider, which is fully programmable in such a compact package. And the thing just looks, for me, the most incredibly versatile bit of kit. And I will be buying it, I'm absolutely sure, for a lot of what I do.
But you hate sliders.
I do hate sliders. It's not
Part-time
really a slider.
films is saying that.
I do. Well, this isn't really a slider.
I'm just being his
It's
voice.
It's a slide pod. It's a slide pod. This is different.
Yeah,
It's not.
You're under the radar.
Yeah.
It's
He's a
like a
slide
slider
pod.
under the radar.
Two in one.
Yeah.
2 in 1. It's like a.
And it's a little stick. You just chuck it in your light stand bag and boom.
It's exactly. And then you also have that kind of the way the bearings must work on it. It has a very small.
Okay. I don't know what's happening. She's nuts. But can you delete that comment? I can't. The channel's going down. The channel is going down. What's happening?
I
When
thought that was 360 grad for a second. That's 360 grad level stuff.
White Castle still sells the
Alex,
best lights.
yes. King TV was there. No, nothing new lighting wise. They have like audio headsets, which sounds kind of odd, but like essentially you can get like an entire production like wireless setup for your crew.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Oh, Luxley's still doing some cool stuff. They did a version 2 of the Luxley Viola, which now has gels and stuff like that.
Right.
And their array of LEDs is changing. So they're going to have 2 whites. They're going to do an amber and a daylight.
Yeah.
And they're going to do RGB.
Sure.
And now they have a 2x1.
Oh, cool.
So that's pretty cool.
Crazy.
They're doing some pretty cool stuff. Yeah. And they've got a new app that's coming. So just to go back to lighting again, Lumi would be great in the old Vegas nightclubs. It might be good in the new Vegas nightclubs too.
Did you see Aladdin? Yes. Nothing. I didn't notice anything new there.
Zacuto wasn't here at the show, so
They were.
Oh, they were.
Yeah. They're in
They had a present. Oh, I didn't see them.
Like
Small
one rig. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't.
Red
see
Rock
that.
wasn't here that I could see.
I didn't
No,
find.
see
I
Red
didn't
Rock.
see them. I thought Brian would be here. Did we meet any celebrities? I mean, I'm
Him.
sitting next to one right here.
It's a nightmare walking around.
I know it's
just-
unbelievable.
We all saw
It's
Philip
moved.
Bloom.
Yeah.
Rodney Charters.
Yeah, Rodney's great.
Jonathan Morrison, which is more of a tech.
Yeah.
Things. but
Gerald
he's-
Undone.
Gerald Undone.
Everybody was basically here. Ryan Conley.
Yeah, D for
I mean, some of these
Darius.
are friends.
Coriander Crew.
yeah.
Coriander.
Undercrew.
Corridor Crew.
Yeah. Max was here.
Yep. Max Uriev.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, the Atomos thing was basically like everybody was hanging out.
It was-
So it was Aputure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a weird thing because when you're a little drunk and then you're not sure and they're going, have we met? And I'm going, yeah, we've definitely met. And it's not. I've just watched you on YouTube.
Oh,
Yeah,
So, I can't remember where, but
Yeah.
I'm sure we know each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah.
But if you try to walk down an aisle at NAB,
I know. With him, it's
Yeah.
a nightmare.
Stop it.
hours.
Shut
It's like
your
Tom
mouth.
Hours.
Jones in the 70s.
Like
People
who
throwing
in
their
the
pants
70s?
Tom
at him.
Jones.
It's-
Unbelievable. With Caleb using a slider. Oh, you found. What does that mean?
Okay.
What? No, I'm not repeating
yeah,
that.
I had to go in there.
No,
Which is this
delete High C Films. Careful what you say. They're cheeky. They're being Vegasy.
they're
There's a
getting
lot of
all
stuff,
Vegasy.
all kinds of stuff. Chris Judd.
Curtis Judd.
That's why. Yeah, they say Chris Judd. Curtis Judd. Curtis Judd is myself and Ben. With Ben standing on my shoulders is how tall he is. That's his actual height.
I feel like I feel very short next to that man.
Well, I feel short next to you. I don't know. Come on. I don't know. Yeah, Victor, you need to come to NAB. What else we got? Oh, okay. All right. Here we go.
Talk about, you read through those. I'm going to talk about another little product I found today.
Yeah, tell us. Yeah.
Which was a, get the card to remember what it's called. It's the ATL 200, which is a time-lapse camera. So a self-contained, long-term
Oh, I saw that.
construction
Yeah.
project thing, which I've used before as a competitor to this, which had some serious flaws, and this seems to have a lot of those ironed out. So you just, 4 AA batteries, it'll run for a month. You just leave it, it's fully weather sealed, and it's got a zoom lens in it. It's got an app to set it all up. Really nifty. So
That's
I'll be
pretty
buying
cool.
a few of those and using them for a lot of the stuff that I do, I'm sure. Need
Yeah.
some small tweaks to the firmware on it so that
Yeah.
they can lock the exposure. And is there a lot of inappropriateness going
They're
on?
going nuts.
They're
so
going
we'll
a little.
just-
sniggering like little schools.
There's a
We'll
lot
just
of
let them sort that out.
Well,
What else we got?
speaking
Okay.
of Atomos, though I'm not talking about them from that standpoint, I will say that the Shogun 7 is an interesting product.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we haven't seen convergent design very much recently.
Nope.
And the fact that we can take 4 HD feeds into this thing and we can
Yep.
do a live recording to
Mhm.
one is pretty
Right.
interesting.
Now, I haven't confirmed, and this has been a thing with the big boy Atomos recorder.
Yeah.
The
Which
Sumo.
Yeah.
Does it require time code?
Mm.
Previously, they've had very strict time code requirements for their multicams, whereas Convergent Design has been very flexible with that.
Okay.
You just give us whatever you got, and we'll figure it out and make it work.
Well, they were okay. So
So
we'll
if
see what
we'll have to
happens.
see what's up with that, but that's cool. I haven't sorted all the more extra HDR display, extra and more and all of it.
Yeah.
The HDR.
Yeah, the 360
Whatever,
zones,
yeah.
the 360 zones.
All the things.
But the thing that is interesting about that monitor is we're not surprised by high nit anymore, brightness. Right. But
Field World
they apparently have a 1 billion. I'm exaggerating, but it's like an extremely high contrast ratio.
It's a million.
Yeah, and it's a million, and it's like an LED and LCD technology, which is supposed to be giving you blacks that are they say better than an OLED. But I looked at the blacks; they look pretty good.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? LCD?
No, I just made that up.
I like that. LCD.
So yeah, we'll see.
What's with the Dave shout out? Yeah. What else we got? Camera matching software from Film. So Alex, so this is called CineMatch. This film, it's a camera matching software from Film Convert, and I actually didn't get to go look at the demo, but they're working really, really hard on this. And the whole concept, which is something they had kind of semi-rolled out, but then like held back, was that you can shoot with multiple different cameras. So we're not now, but an A camera is our C200, and the B camera is a GH5S. Just saying, no, and then you're shooting with them, and then you basically bring it in, and because Film Convert is all about understanding how sensors work, and then saying I want to match a film stock. What you're going to do is you're going to take footage in from different cameras, and you're going to basically match the cameras. Because it understands what the sensor is. They've done the QA for it, and then you have 2 different cameras, and now you're matched up. Yeah, it could be great. It's crazy. I'm excited. They're going to roll out, I think, initially with Premiere, and then the Final Cut, and then so on and so forth. Yeah. So that could be pretty cool. Good. Okay, what do we got? Speaking of it, I need to take a nap. I don't know what that means. Have to be up early.
Take it easy
for a boring day. Okay, well, enjoy that, because some of the comments you made were amazing.
He's like, he needs to take a nap after all
Victor's
that.
like, see you, shiz. It's shiz nuts to you, okay? Good. Now,
hi, Victor. Good to see you. Man.
Yeah, okay, good. So what else we got? 360s coming. I can never read 360s.
Yeah,
360 grads out loud. You have to read it first.
Carefully.
You have to read it 3 times before you even decide if you're going to read it.
What
out
else
loud.
do we got, gentlemen? Any other monitors?
Cine 7 from Small HD.
Yep.
And I will say that I think that this is a really big thing, even though we're not necessarily getting UHD, this and that. We're getting a monitor that you can control.
That never happened.
It's like ASMR or something. You're getting a monitor that you can control a camera with from the monitor, a third-party monitor. And the first camera is an Arri, so that's great from a marketing standpoint from this.
Yeah.
But if you can control other cameras with a monitor, like that's a huge frustration.
That is.
Like if you can, because that's what how annoying is it that you're looking at the monitor and then you're like, you have to go down and hit menu and do all this kind of stuff. So I actually think that that's a big deal.
Particularly with the ones that are doing touchscreen focus as well.
Yeah.
It's going to be huge.
I agree.
Just before coming here, I met with Andy Cine and Field World out of China.
Yep.
And they are more affordable companies, very affordable. And he just showed me their newest, best thing. And they're finally, as you mentioned, they're leaving the, when you buy a cheap monitor, it's the same interface. It's been the same way since for like 10 years.
Yeah.
They're finally getting away from that. And they were redesigning. It's all touch.
Good.
Menus.
Good.
Quick touch, pinch, everything. And
quick touch pinch.
Quick touch pinch, quick twist, bop it. And Andy Cine has a new aluminum monitor that is like getting into small HD or small HD levels.
And the UI is starting to get better.
Like all uni aluminum.
Yeah.
With
what about the OS? Oh yeah, so
it's LUTs and the OS
yeah.
and high nit, and they're just going after it all.
Good.
4K signal, 1080p monitor still, but 7-inch.
Nice.
Input, output, and power. So you can feed it power, send power to your camera from the monitor. So ever since that small HD, but now this is like the ultimate monitor. So that stuff will start hitting here pretty soon, and you know, you never know.
Yeah.
If they get a TED. If that company or any company got a TED,
there's no other TED though.
I know,
but
if you could,
everybody wants a TED. Everybody wants a TED. TED is the guy.
Yeah,
he's the guy.
He is the guy. I mean,
it's a TED Fest.
Dan,
TED.
Good to see you. Where can you get some of that sweet C47 merch?
Tell us.
Well, you can't.
Well, the first thing you can do,
I can subscribe to my channel.
Gentlemen,
yeah.
The first thing you do is subscribe to this channel. We do this every single Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern.
It's true. And if I get some subscribers at one of these days, then I'll make some merch. But you know, I'm trying it out. We got some bags and some. The hats we gotta go. I'm working on that. But I'm happy with this. Yeah, I got a big clothespin on the back, and then I got the bag.
Yeah.
It'll happen. Time. There you go. So
post color. Take it easy, dude. Thanks for dropping by.
Yeah, thank you, everybody.
Get that merch.
Get the merch. What else do I have on here? I don't have a lot of stuff. Well, Ninja 5 SDI module. I mean, that's kind of interesting that they're extending the functionality. I wouldn't say it's a big
drag.
Thing. Is it? Tell me.
Raw.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's just 3G. So even to get 6G, you got to use both, I believe.
Yeah.
So that sucks.
We ended that conversation pretty fast.
But
next,
that doesn't say that doesn't mean
thanks for the information.
Yeah.
Well, they can't win on everything.
Right. You gotta lose sometime.
What else did you see? You saw some lenses in Central that you thought were interesting.
I need to look up the name. I walked by and I saw these like mega lenses with handles built in. Like they reminded me of ingenue lenses. There's some sounds from the other room.
It's like the
you
wall.
May not have heard
it sounded like the wall farted.
It really did.
It's like the whole wall farted.
It's like there's like a bad hinge or like someone's using a router. It's really bad.
So these lenses, but are these the ones you're telling me that they're really
So I walked by and I almost stopped to talk to them, but I'm like, these things are going to be super expensive. They're huge, but it was a really hip booth. It was like reminding me of like Wooden Camera.
Yeah.
Back in the day when they had the wooden, like really nice booth.
So I like that booth.
Yeah. I love their booth. So I'm like, that's cool. Good for you guys. And then I moved on. And then Dan Chung was like, have you seen them? And he showed me like some where they had like hidden smaller lenses, like the size of a 70 to 200, fully cinematic, everything, f2.8.
Like Fujinon size almost?
Like they're exactly like Fujinon lenses. Imagine like Vedra lenses, but cine zooms.
Nice.
Little baby.
And you said the price point was great.
And he said $15,000 to $2,000.
Nice.
That's
so
pretty
they had a
great.
Micro Four Thirds. It was like a 25 to something in the hundreds. 2.8 little lens. So I have to find him again and figure that out. But.
There was the other interesting lens company that you showed me.
Oh yeah, Cinematics, I think it's called.
Yeah. So that was interesting. So they were doing it was like a rehousing.
Yeah.
For the one we were looking at initially was the Sigma, the 18 to 35.
You can buy a Sigma 18 to 35 Cinema Zoom that's red, fully manual for $1,500.
Yeah.
What?
But
they add a housing to it. It's like kind of a Duclos mod almost. And they remove it's all manual now, no more EF.
So you buy the lens and send it to them?
No, you can just buy it for $1,500 from them.
And how much is the lens on its own?
No, well, the lens on its own is like $600 to $800.
Right, and then you're getting the whole mod.
Yeah, so around $600, you get a full, and it feels really nice
without buying their cine.
Exactly,
right. And they also have an option where you can buy it and still have autofocus and aperture, but that's pretty much just adding gears and making it bigger.
the interesting thing with that though was when we were talking about it, and she was telling us that now that you just do that yourself. They just send you the parts and some instructions, and
they can do it for you. You
No,
can't do the Aputure mod. That's
no,
all
no.
them.
If you're doing the one where you're retaining the autofocus,
Right.
you do that yourself. So they send you the stuff.
Yeah.
And she said the Canon 7200 as well, that they'll completely have this new housing for that, and that was $600, I think. And again, everything retaining autofocus, but having gearings on it, and it being quite a
Right.
solid, nice looking thing.
Yeah.
I mean, my 7200 is battered and could do with a rehouse. It's kind of
It looked beautiful.
Yeah,
It looked really nice.
Yeah.
Really nice machining.
I can't figure out because I was trying to ask her what the process.
You can't
was.
find anything online.
No, I was thinking, well, if this is self-install, what do I have to take off the lens? How much dismantling am I going to have to do to this? And she said, no, it's really easy. So
Yeah, until you get it.
we'll see.
Under glass, plexiglass, I'll say.
Do you have to be somewhere 4 minutes?
Yeah, soon. I'm okay. But
Okay.
yeah. Under plexiglass in the Fujifilm booth,
Oh, no, right.
they had a camera, and you have been talking about IMAX in your pocket.
Right.
I mean, like, you know.
Right.
So
Is
they
that
had
what you call it?
Those lenses are like
no
two
IMAX.
of your heads.
IMAX. No, I'm talking about Fujifilm. I'm not
Yeah.
talking about their lenses. I'm talking about the
Oh.
fact that they had a medium format camera
Right.
that looked like it had a battery grip attached to it, but it was really part of the whole body. And it was a new camera that wasn't out except for under the
Right.
plexiglass. And it's a medium format camera that does 4K up to 30 at 400 megabits per
Yep.
second. So they're going there.
Yep. It's an XT3 medium format.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, imagine a 1DX let himself go.
IMAX in your pocket.
A lot of cheeseburgers.
Basically.
in your pocket.
IMAX in your big
IMAX,
pocket.
IMAX
in your fanny
backpack.
pack. IMAX in your fanny pack.
Your
That has a very different meaning in English.
No,
English. Yes, it does.
okay.
All right.
yeah.
What booth? I don't know.
The cinematics.
In the cinematics booth.
I'll maybe try to do a video on it because I find it somewhat interesting.
Okay.
Heck, maybe I'll pick one up just for the heck
These
of it.
comments
Yeah.
are so cheeky over here. I mean, the cheekiest we've ever had, I think,
I
from
think you're
people.
right. Do you want to talk a little bit about everything going wireless? I feel
Yes.
we've got the mesh network lighting.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We've got everyone and their brother coming out with a budget and pro wireless audio. Everything's going
Yes.
Yes.
2.4.
And 4K for like Teradek. I mean, it's
And
just
there's
like,
that new. I haven't seen it yet, but $250 for like you plug it into your camera and boom, you iPad, iPhone. You've got scopes. You've got HD stream.
Where's that?
I'm trying to remember the name.
But
Everyone
it's
talks
here?
about it. Yeah, it's like $250, and boom, your iPhone is now a monitor with waveforms
Yeah.
and vector
Wow.
scopes.
Yeah.
And all things.
Dan, yeah, medium format is different in terms of lensing. So it's a whole different lens
The
family.
lenses are huge.
They're huge.
They're massive.
They're huge.
But there's just nothing like taking a picture right here with a 50 millimeter and getting like
Yeah.
Oh my God, we had a.
Yeah,
I think
depth
we
of
had
field.
110 millimeter on one of their medium format cameras, not the one in the plexiglass. 110 millimeters at an f2 on a medium format, and I pointed it at the trade show floor with a guy who was like 300 feet away. And everything behind him, everything in front. It's just like
God.
it's like dreamy. I almost went over to the guy and it makes everybody look
It's
amazing.
such a huge difference.
Yeah.
It's I rented it was lent the Pentax 645
I just saw
for a
the-
stills
oh.
job, and it was recently, and just the difference with how your brain it just comes
Yeah,
calculating depth of field.
Yeah.
You know this, and it's all out the window.
all out the window.
a great film recently that came out is the Reverend.
Yeah.
Yes.
That movie you watch and you're just like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
something's up here.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So we're on our wind down.
Yeah.
I mean, it's this went fast. So hey, Joseph, thank you
Take
for
it easy, Joseph.
Yeah, good. So we're winding down our NAB live episode.
Cine I, Kent, thank you. And High C Films, 4 connections on that $250 thing.
Okay,
That's sick.
that's crazy.
Anything else? Any other NAB stuff we need to like kind of throw in there? Or do you just want to go to Q&A? Or what
Yeah.
do we got here?
What do we got? Any questions we got from anybody?
Any questions?
We're going to start to
guys?
wind this down because we're only an hour or so left of the show. And
don't talk about Road Around Caleb. I think I pre-ordered it. I'll say it. I pre-ordered it.
You're getting the wireless go, right?
And my video, I maybe should have made it more clear that I'm open to new stuff. But as it stands,
looking at the landscape.
Yeah, the Rode VideoMic Pro and Pro Plus, I just think there's better options. But the Go, I'm excited to try it and compare it to the. I bought it so I could compare it to the other offerings from Sennheiser, the XSW,
yeah,
and all that stuff. So we'll see.
Good. I don't plan to see anything tomorrow, Larry, except for suitcases being packed and an airplane ride home. Any interesting video plugins? I didn't see anything.
I've not spent a lot of time in
South
I didn't
Hall,
touch
to be honest.
South Hall.
No,
I did look a little bit into what's the thing you guys all use for like sharing projects?
Oh no, Frame.io.
Frame.io.
Yes,
they've got some really interesting
They're killing
stuff with
it.
camera ingesting.
Killing
Yeah.
it.
And like suddenly it's just boom. It's everywhere. Transcoded proxies.
It's amazing. So it's using proxies, but then it's pulling down the full files.
Yeah.
at
He
the
gave me a
back
demo and I was just like,
and its integration
goodness.
into Resolve is just seamless. It's a fantastic.
Somebody's saying it's tomorrow the last day of NAB. Yes, it is. And just so you know, if you're here and you show up in the morning, you'll go to everybody's booth and nobody will be there because everybody leaves their own booth and it's the time that they go walk around the show.
Yeah.
And next year the show's shifting. So it's actually going to start on Sunday instead of Monday.
right.
And I think it's Sunday at noon.
Yeah.
And then it'll end by Wednesday.
Yeah.
Which I think is great. Sort of. Not maybe.
We'll see.
I have no idea.
One thing
Yes.
we totally forgot to talk about
Yes.
the Zoom F6 and the future of audio. I think
Yes.
we're going to 32-bit
Yeah.
floating something. What's
Float.
it called?
32-bit float.
32-bit float.
Yeah.
Where essentially it's like dual ISO for audio.
So it's interesting
Is how I heard
because
it
float in
described.
the visual world is sort of you have 0 and you have 1, which are absolutes, right?
Right.
But if you think about there's a floor and there's a ceiling. In float space, there's all of this other stuff going on up here, and there's all of this stuff underneath the floor. And what you can do is you can grab that stuff and bring it into that 0 to 1 space. And that's what they do with OpenEXR and when they're dealing with stuff with workflows, which was really developed by not Lucasfilm, but Industrial. So all that flows. So I guess what they're doing is they're starting to do some stuff in the audio world, or maybe they have been for a while.
It's
like
exciting.
that.
It's like HDR audio.
Yeah.
Instead of like you got your 0 to 100, you just kind of got. It's awesome.
It's beauteous.
Yes.
You can
It's
hear dead
adorable.
people.
It's not adorable, actually.
Just to quote High C Films, 32-bit root beer float audio. Yes, that's it. Bingo. Aputure selling tomorrow only. That is correct. If you want to scoop up some Aputure stuff, I may.
No, I'm just kidding.
I heard from their booth.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know.
they're
I know.
selling off all the
I
stuff
know.
they've
They're
got.
not. They're not messing
Yeah,
around.
no,
They're
I
like,
know,
Here
I
we
know.
go.
Yeah,
They're
I
gonna have
know.
like for sale signs everywhere.
I know. It's great. Yeah. Technically, you're not supposed to, but we don't care about that.
Rip.
This will sound great. Cash only. We're hearing all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
It's now the black market in the comments.
It is. It's getting crazier. Okay, good. Later, memo.
Last comments, anyone?
I don't know.
This year went by quick.
It's
for
been
me.
fun. It's
Yeah.
been a kind of slightly, I would say, a slightly subdued show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's been as always, lots of interesting smaller manufacturers.
Yeah.
And the Aputure stuff that we've all agreed we all love and are excited by. But it's just always been, as always, it's about the people. That's why we come.
Best
and
thing
travel
ever to
here.
hang out with you guys.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
That's exactly why we
Meet
do
new
this.
people.
Ben, especially thank you for coming from stupid far away.
30 hours to just get
It's
here.
A movie and a half for me, and for you, it's a nightmare. So we appreciate it,
It's
man.
amazing.
No, it's been great hanging out with you and doing some work for Jem over the weekend. That was
Yeah.
great fun. And
Oh yeah, the workshops are really good.
workshops were fantastic. So no, it's been
Is really good. And I think, and this is just a prediction, I think that NAB is going to be have more splash than NAB.
DJI wasn't here this year.
Nope.
I didn't know that.
Red doesn't do the show anymore.
Right.
and there's a lot of chatter about products being released there that
It's
would
in
have
here.
traditionally been released here.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I
I
think
might
we
have
got
to
some
start
stuff.
going.
I'm
think you should.
thinking that.
But is
as
it
well.
not Paramount anymore? Is that over
No,
forever?
that's Paramount.
Forever? It is?
They worked it out. They're not going to be downtown. They're back at
Oh.
Paramount. My daughter's graduating, so I'm not going to be there that
Oh.
weekend.
Well, I won't. Maybe
Next
next year will be my
Next
first year
year.
at City
And we
Gallery.
should
yeah.
do Cine Gear.
Okay.
All
sounds good.
three of us. Fantastic. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Subscribe, come back, hang out, and we will all be creating lots of content. And Ben's going to get his channel going one day.
Boom.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
It'll happen.
I promise this year.
Yeah.
Get that time lapse thing and do a review.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
ATL 200.
Boom.
There we go.
All the best, everybody.
Have
Take care.
a wonderful time. Cheers with
Cheers.
like nothing left.
Wow. You didn't have
There's
a
a drop.
Here we go.
I God only knows what state I'm going to be in next week. After that'll be the day I've come back with no sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At midnight. Yeah. We'll see you then.